Hey guys, my name is Blessed Tim Tam, and today I'll be showing you guys how to use the new cool barrier effect. So basically, the new barriers have different sort of color sets that you can put them to. Previously, you could just turn them on and off. However, now there's a whole range of different sort of styles that you can put them as. So today I'll be going over each of the different colors and then quickly, and then how you can put them in your map to create this really cool background. So here's a timestamp for when I actually get to how to put this in your map. But as for right now, I'm just going to go through the different types of styles that you can have. So this is when it's just on. When it's off, it looks the exact same. On and off basically look the exact same. Translucent gives it this little orange sort of color. Pure black is just what it says, pure black. And do note that if you do enter the barriers, then the color goes away. But you can also set it up so that these are barriers as in an actual barrier, so in game you can't walk through them, and then it's just like creating a huge wall with one texture. So moving on from black, pure black, we also have stone, which is just like a nice white chiseled quartz, sort of like a bit of concrete. We have thread plate, which is obviously the metallic design that you see on floors all around the map. We have brick, which is sort of like the brick walls that we can build, but a lot more refined. Here we have the gloss black, which is the black but with a glossy texture, with a bit of reflection, not really. We also have sky blue. This would be really cool if you wanted to make a sort of creative map with a picturesque blue sky, then you could just set it up the top. Over here we have the red force field and the blue force field. These you probably have seen in Zone Wars sort of maps where they look like the zone, so that's the red and blue force fields. And here we have the nebulas. So there's the plain nebula, which is sort of blue with black, and then we have the red nebula, the green nebula, and the purple nebula. So they all sort of have this basic background, and if you cross over the colors it looks the exact same, it's in the same spot. So it's sort of just like putting some cellophane in front of space, I guess. And so you can see I've set them up as the walls right now. You can put them to be all the same color, but I've just gone with this wall as purple, this wall is red, this wall is green, and this one as a basic, just to give you guys a bit of an idea of how it will look. And you will see these everywhere in people's 1v1 build maps, etc., because it looks like a really cool background to have your 1v1 maps with. So that's the basic, the red, the green, and the purple. And then here we have the Starfield. Starfield comes as just the basic black with white stars. Also comes with black and red, and then green and blue. So these are sort of similar to the nebula, where they all just have a speck of dots, and whether you look at them from the different colors, they're in the same spot, they're just different colors. So got all of those different colors to choose from. And then last but not least, we have translucent, which is only visible when close. So see here, we can see it, but if we fly up or away a bit, it goes to the same as when it's off. But yeah, so that's something really cool that I think a lot of people are going to use in their creative maps. I think if you're a creative map user, it's really easy to get the hang of. You can see it looks awesome. I just created this little sort of 1v1 map here. Obviously it's pretty ugly and basic, but we've got the basic weapons, and then you've got the beautiful backgrounds for when you are 1v1ing. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to actually build these in your own map. So let's just open a new world. Alright, well, now we're in the new world. As you can see, I've chosen the block for my new world. It really doesn't matter which world it is. You can do it in any single world that you want. So it doesn't really matter. So all you need to do is get these barriers here. So just grab a couple. And then so say for the block, it has this raised elevated little square. So for that, I'm just going to go to one of the walls here. And so I just build a wall because that's the angle we want it from. We want it to be a wall like this. And so then I'm just gonna pop over here. Should probably turn down the flight speed. But yeah, so here is the barrier visibility in game. This is the one that you're going to change it to for whichever one you want. For this, I think we're going to go with the green starfield. So for that, have whatever one you want. For this, you want it to be on so that you can see it in the game. Enabled, you want it to be enabled so you can see it in game and out of game. Block weapons in game really doesn't matter. Barrier width, you want it to be as big or small as you want. If you want it to be a whole thing, then I'd probably just go with 100. If in the block, you can obviously do whatever you want, but I just go with 180 and then a half for the height, and then that will build you this. You can see it's way over what we actually need it to be, but that doesn't matter too much. Obviously this is very wide instead of height wise, so if you wanted it to be taller and less long, you just go back here. Let's say bring this down to 80, bring this up to 100, and now it'll be a lot taller and a bit less wider. So you can play around with that however you want. It's really up to you specifically. I'm also just going to put this as 1 so that it comes out to this block, and then we can get rid of this, and then when we get close to it or pass through it, it'll just go through like that. And yeah, that's basically how you do it. So if you want it to be everywhere, you just put it on each side. If you want it to be on the roof, then you can just get like a build like this and just build up, and then across to and then just across to the roof, and then you should just be able to just build one down here and then edit the settings for that. So I'll set this all up and then I'll show you guys in a few seconds. Alright guys, so I finally finished. I took a bit of time doing it, but as you can see, we've got the whole place covered. So the left wall, the wall in front, the right wall, the behind wall, we've got the floor done and the roof, and it really does look good. And I've left that bit of brick there, but you can imagine without that piece of brick, it does look beautiful. So you've got all those textures from before that you can choose to use. So I've just built a little sort of 1v1 platform here. I also added some lightning just for effect. The purple lightning will look really good with the purple sky. It is a bit loud though, so I don't know how you're going to work around that. I'm sure there's some setting to turn down the sound. But yeah, so it does look really cool. We're on some sort of floating platform. We've got the spawn pads in here to make sure that we don't fall in the sky. And then yeah, it's basically just a 1v1 place. For some reason I suck at building this season. I haven't been doing much of it. But yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, but it just looks really, really nice. The building sucks though. But yeah, you can just imagine all the different types that you can have. Yeah. So just to show you guys quickly the stuff I use. So you can imagine the sort of build types that you could use. For this, I just used the wooden timber from one of the newer sort of haunted house sort of prefab. Here's all the roofing that you could use, but what I would recommend is using the black glass sort of prefab and then the neon lights. So if you go to your inventory, creative, galleries, and then you have to scroll down quite a bit, and then you should see a whole bunch of light stuff. You can add these sort of fireworks and glowy stuff, but what I would recommend is using the black and reflective black galleries for your 1v1 maps. You can use whatever, but I just prefer these with the black with the space really looks cool. And then to give it some light, we've got the ring gallery A and B, which have this cool sort of neon lights, whether it be the grid, the circle, the half ring, etc. You can see that we've got all sorts of neon pieces that we can grow, shrink, all sorts of different colors, etc. So you can make it look really cool. And then for the lightning pieces, you can see we've got all sorts of stuff. So we've got this mist, we've got this sort of upwards draft mist, we've got the little eyes that we can add, and then we've got the lightning strikes. So you can change these strikes to only be during the warm-up phase of your game mode and etc. And you should find them in the galleries section. Just at the top of the page, there's Spooky Particle Gallery, and that's basically what this is. There's also Spooky Prop Gallery if you want to get into the theme of Halloween. But yeah, that's basically how to do it, and it looks really effective. Yeah, it just looks really cool, especially when you're in game doing a 1v1. Yeah, and then if at any time you want to switch it up, you can just leave, go here, change the color to say we want the purple nebula, and you can change it up. And this also looks really clean. I mean, I guess if you want like one side of the place to be, say, purple nebula, we can go through that. It's the other way, give me a second. And then so this have to be purple nebula, and say this have to be blue nebula or the green Starfield, whichever way you want it. You can mix and match and just, yeah, make it look really cool. So I hope you guys learned something new with the new barrier types. If you want me to do more creative stuff and just explain how stuff works, or want me to build different things in creative like I've done before but have never published, just put it in the comments and I'll give it a shot. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.